Welcome back to the final episode of Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. We have 100% of the game, which is more than I did in my initial playthrough with my toaster of a recording system that was my old laptop camera. But now we are here, finally, going into the Room of Rewards for the first time.
Who cast me with you? All your discoveries are making my arm ache.
Ooh, that's funny. So, this video is getting copyrighted, huh? Very copyrighted. Extremely copyrighted. That's what this game is telling me right now. Enjoy the copyright. I guess. To be fair, I didn't know if this video was going to be copyrighted anyway because of the interviews and everything that's in the Room of Rewards. You know, I never once looked at that in the game when you can visit it. Moni Mono bothering me, as you can tell. But yeah, this video is getting copyrighted for sure now that this music's playing. Like, oh damn, dude, this video's done for. Like the freaking any episode I've uploaded episode 1 through 5 already to YouTube, and only episode 1 through 5. But in every episode, there has been a cutscene almost with music behind it has been claimed. I believe there was 2 of them that got claimed. One of them was the Cho Chang Owlery mission. Oh my god, the game almost froze. And the other one was, I believe, the Cho Chang kissing scene. No, it was something else. It was something smaller than the Owlery mission. Alright. A little ink pen there. Okay, interesting. Little view of a little birdie. Oh, the fat lady opening. Nice. And over here are rewards unlocked.
I was a massive fan of the books, and I'd read, I think, the first and the second. And yeah, then Newsround were advertising kids to send in like application forms and that. And my mum videoed me doing this. I made this like rap song of how much I wanted to be in the film. And are you a talking gargoyle?
Do you normally talk to ones that can't speak?
I don't normally talk to gargoyles.
Or should imagine many gargoyles are grateful for that.
Ginny's obviously the youngest and the only girl, so that's quite a lot of pressure. But I think it's quite fun at the same time, because I can kind of, as a character, she can kind of get away with things.
Well done, Ginny.
Blowing things up comes naturally when you've grown up with Fred and George.
Because I'm not doing school now, we've got more time to play on the game, so it's good.
I do quite like the action adventure, like the Harry Potter game.
Completely exceeded all of my expectations of quite what a video game could achieve in terms of realness.
I think a lot of people can relate to the characters, because there's Hermione, who's the really brainy one who always kind of thinks one step ahead, and Harry's obviously the brave but quite quiet at the same time. But then Ron's kind of the jokingly one.
Kids can sort of relate to the whole school side of it, because I mean they have lessons, they have exams and stuff, so they can sort of relate to that side. But they've also got the whole sort of magic thing with giants and all these sort of amazing sort of creatures.
A lot of films, especially and in games, it's always the adult who comes through, and they're always the big hero. Whereas in Harry Potter, it sort of shows, especially in this one, in the Order of the Phoenix, how the adults have got it wrong. Like Umbridge isn't making sense all the time, and Harry and everyone know that.
Accio Brew!
One of the other important things for us on this game was also to bring our characters to life and to bring them a lot closer to the film and to the actors that people know.
This time we really want people to feel like they're looking at the film characters in the game. And so we've gone through with the actors and done head scans of all the actors to incorporate them into the game.
What they do with the computers and kind of how they make our faces, just as if they were us.
It was weird, you know, when we first saw them. I don't know, it's a thing for, like, I think every lad to have their face on a game, and to be in it is fantastic. It looks really lifelike.
We wanted the students to sound like the people you hear in the films, so where better to go than the actual actors themselves? And as you walk around the castle, hearing Fred and George calling out to you, and it being James and Oliver Phelps.
Try this little spell, and one from me too. Incendio!
Loco Mortimort!
Don't kill Cedric, boo-hoo! Oh, I think Potter's gonna cry. Push off, Potter. Got your bed booked in the hospital wing.
Loser!
There was a lot of giggles, and it was very hard to keep a straight face.
Protego Maxima! Protego Maxima!
You've got to say it 3 times, and one of those 3 will do it. Also, so when you play the game, every time you hear me saying a spell or doing something, it's slightly different. It's not always the same.
Well, there are never enough of us, but the ones we've got are really good. You've met Kingsley Shacklebolt. He's great. And don't worry, we're not all as mad as Mad Eye.
Working with the cast from the film was absolutely a great opportunity for me. I thought it was great fun. I particularly like working with Rupert Grint because he's probably my favourite character in the film, Ron, because he's just got great script and he delivers his lines so well.
You should write a book. Translating mad things girls do so boys can understand them.
It's quite scary because it's so real. It is amazing. And you can sort of see how they sort of progress from like the first one. It was just some random ginger person, and this time it's like proper weird. It's really good though.
You Slytherins think you're so good. Let's hope this makes Umbridge's name mud at the Ministry.
Because a while ago I saw they had the face of me, but they've kind of developed it more. They didn't have the hair and everything. And it was kind of weird because it does look kind of weirdly like you. And I was looking at everyone else's, and it's just weird how it's like them, but it isn't them.
So we're just trying to make people feel that the characters that they're moving around the game are actually the characters that they see when they watch the film.
This is like being in one of Bin's History of Magic lessons. Accio!
Honestly, Harry, you should take more care of books.
You'd better get upstairs. You know what Hermione's like if you're late.
You think you're special just because your aunt's in the Ministry.
Just like your father, jumping feet first into trouble.
If you notice, there was no Harry and Hermione, because I don't think they did their voices for this movie, this game. Just like they didn't for the Deathly Hallow games. I don't think this changed. Cup. Oh. Okay. Neville. All right.
You're for it now, Potter.
I initially auditioned for Harry and Ron, just because obviously they were the main parts at the time, and eventually went for Draco, and succeeded in getting it.
Potter took his time getting here. What are you going to do without your pet teacher, Potter?
I do enjoy playing the baddie. He's just a bit more, well, fun, really, to put it in a nutshell.
What do you want, Malfoy?
Professor Snape wants to see you in his office. He says it's time for your remedial potions lesson.
You think you're so good.
Useless loser!
Take this, Potter. We'll show you. Oh, look. They've come to save their little friend.
Come on then, Potter. What are you gonna do?
Dan, in a sense, is obviously he's not Harry Potter, but in a sense he's something like him, and Rupert's something like Ron, and Emma's something like Hermione. It's nice for me to be the complete opposite of what I hope to be. I like to think I portray myself as a rather gentle young lad.
gonna lose. Mudblood lovers.
There's something nice about hating the villain. I suppose the more hate I would get from a child, as in the more you're evil, the better I've done my job.
Is it just me, or does he look like Frankie Muniz in those interviews?
The music this year is even more exciting than normal because we've managed to license the Hedwig's theme from the film, which everybody associates as being the music to Harry Potter.
Which is a detriment to
The other
my
really cool
YouTube
thing
channel.
is the fact that we record the music with a real orchestra. Audio can actually bring the fiction to life. So quite often we don't need to have the visuals to actually bring extra elements of the fiction to the game. Is when you go down to the dungeons where Slytherin hang out, even though you might not see howlers go off, you can hear them in the distance. One of the things we're trying to do this year is actually get close to the movie, and obviously one of the key things to do would be to actually use the movie cast. So we've tried to get in as many of the kids as possible, and we've actually got 22 characters from the film actually voicing their own parts in this game. Two of the major ones include Rupert Grint, who plays Ron, and Ralph Fiennes, who plays Lord Voldemort.
This book's really useful. You're gonna make us take it back, Hermione?
That little snot rag is trying to jinx us.
Then let's show him how it's really done.
Shh. The meeting's finished. Quick, get to bed before Mum catches us.
Hope our side's got it. Whatever it is. Yeah.
Harry Potter, the boy who stopped the Dark Lord. Creature wonders how he did it.
Bet you wouldn't mind hiding that scar sometimes, eh? You'll have to learn the hard way, I'm afraid. Metamorph magi are really rare. They're born, not made.
Oh, you're going to fight us, are you?
You should run off.
I will kill you now, old man.
Fun fact, Ralph Fiennes did not voice Voldemort in Deathly Hallows. At least I don't think he did. I don't remember seeing his name in the credits in Deathly Hallows, part 1 or 2. Ooh, the chess piece with like a checkers looking thing. Is that supposed to be like the trophy room or something? I don't understand that one.
I'd read the first 4 books before I went for my first audition for the film.
I've been a fan before I got the part. Still am now.
I was just content with going for the audition and to say, yeah, I went for an audition for that.
Locomotor Mortis!
Accio, Protego Maxima.
Neville's most important quality is his courage.
Don't you call me an idiot?
And we definitely see it in Order of the Phoenix, the way he doesn't care what danger he's going into. Even though he's the most terrified he's ever been, he'll still do it because he knows it's the right thing to do.
Did you know Ginny Weasley and Michael Corner were going out? I don't think it will last though. Do you?
Being Harry's love interest was a lot of fun.
Don't go, Harry. I want to talk to you.
There probably are a lot of envious girls out there because, you know, Daniel is a very good-looking guy.
There's one thing that Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix really brings forward is just how difficult it is being a kid that age at school. All the problems, as well as not just like the big bad guys that are trying to come and kill you, but all just school life.
They are just, at the end of the day, ordinary kids. They play, they fight.
Children being the main characters and the heroes just makes it a lot more fun as well at the same time. People can think, yeah, I'm there with them. I'm only young, but I can do all this stuff.
Why does Matthew Lewis look like he's in his edgy phase?
Fred and George must be earning a
What's the point if they're going to end up with no NEWTs?
They might not have newts, but they know their stuff. You saw their headless hats.
All they know is flashy stuff, not anything with real magical skill.
You take that back, Hermione.
When we went to create Hogwarts for Order of the Phoenix this year, we really took ourselves back to basics. We looked at what we'd built in the other games, looked at how that sort of fitted, how that didn't.
When we began, we took the blueprints of Hogwarts, we took the notes we had from Joanne Rowling, and we took all the notes we'd taken from the books, and we tried to sort of bring all those together to understand how Hogwarts fitted together.
It's amazing, there's so much detail that goes into all the games, and because they had like hundreds of computers, and it's quite like the art department in the studios for Harry Potter, and all the concept drawings and how much detail they have to go behind, like before it, to get to the actual finishing product.
So with the sound effects, we're really able to bring Hogwarts to life. We've put in fun bits and pieces, so as you're walking down the grand staircase, you'll hear the portrait speaking to you.
You must venture out into the castle and find it, Mr. Potter.
The game looks amazing, but the building particularly, it's incredible.
The likeness of everything is so accurate to what it is actually like for me on the set.
The Gryffindor common room, it was just very detailed, and it just looks exactly like the actual Gryffindor common room in the films, with the big tapestries up and all the portraits and the tiniest little details like
It is one of my favorite rooms in the game.
stack of books on the table.
It was really funny watching it because I sort of recognised bits. I was like, oh, I wrote that. There's kind of Dumbledore's army, and it's got my personal handwriting on it, and the sets are exactly what the sets are like in the film, and Hogwarts is exactly as it is represented in the films, which you've never really had a sense of before.
But we had the challenge that we wanted a person to be able to walk from one end of it, from the boathouse, for instance, all the way through to the owlery without the game ever stopping. And it's a great way to see it, to walk all the way through those corridors, up the stairs, through the classrooms. It's a fantastic way to see the world of Harry Potter realised.
I gotta say, that's probably one of the most underrated things about this game in general, is the amazing detail that Hogwarts has in this game, with very, very few loading screens at all. Like, they're hidden, and we encountered one, I think at the beginning of the last video, going into the 3rd floor. But the fact that you can go from one end to Hogwarts with little to no loading screen is amazing, especially with how big Hogwarts is in this game and how detailed it is. Back in 2007, when this game was also not only on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, but it was also on the PlayStation 2. I don't know if it was on the original Xbox, but I know it was for sure on the PlayStation 2, because my first playthrough of this game ever was on the PlayStation 2. Gobstones, baby! Still my favorite minigame in this game. Nice little horn. Is this just a picture reel of the Order of Dumbledore's army and the Room of Requirements? I just not noticed she had a necklace that has a P on it. I don't understand, what is this here for? It's just stills from the movie and the Room of Requirements. Hogsmeade. Luna and Cho. The Weasleys. Weasley and Weasley. What? I'm a little confused about this reward. It was just stills from the Room of Requirement, from Dumbledore's army, I guess you could say. A lot of it was in Room Requirements, but it mostly was just stills focusing on Dumbledore's army-esque pictures. So it's behind totem number 2 on this one. More stills? Hagrid, Golden Trio when they first meet Guap. Hey, it's that thing. We made that thing in the herbology room. No wonder we made that thing in the herbology room then, if it was in the movie. I didn't even notice it was in the movie. These stills are just random. Mostly focusing on the Weasleys and the Golden Trio, but then you had Hagrid, you had Neville, Cho Chang right there, Cho and Harry. Best Hagrid still of all time. Fang. Their feet don't even touch the ground. The most iconic picture of Luna. Dumbledore's got style. Tonks. Tonks has got such cool hair, man. Alright, let's see what's over here. Interesting. Chess, gotcha. More stills. Umbridge's Reign of Terror, I guess, is what is this going to be focused on? Interesting. I guess I can get my thoughts out of the way when these are just going. This game is highly underrated. If only for the Hogwarts exploration bit. The voice acting is really good in this game, especially Ron. Even the Harry and Hermione stand-ins are very good at duplicating or mimicking Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson. If it isn't them. Even in the Deathly Hallows games, which aren't Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson, those guys did good too. I don't know if these are the same people or not, or what. But yeah, I would say, honestly, this game is really good. The exploration of Hogwarts is phenomenal and really detailed, and the fact that there's very little loading screens for a game in 2007 just adds to the impressiveness of it. But there is one part in this game that really struggles. Ooh. That's a really cool shot. I'm assuming this is sketches. The one thing this game really struggles with is, or is lacking, is combat. And movement. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the combat is very, I guess you could say, basic. Which makes it not that fun. It's serviceable and it works, but because of how basic it is, it just comes off as, that's a really cool shot. It just comes off as not as good. Like, the combat in this game just isn't that great. It's very, like I said, basic, generic, and at times unresponsive. If the spells were more responsive, then it probably wouldn't be as bad, but it'd still be pretty generic and boring. Half-Blood Prince fixed my issue with the combat. As far as movement's concerning, I'd have to play the game in order to feel how it moved and compared to this one. But like, characters in this game struggle to turn. And honestly, sometimes they move a little. They continue to move after you've stopped moving. So that's a bit weird. some of the doors are extremely hard to open. That first floor door, for some reason, is like a brick wall. The only 2 doors in the game that are also a pain in the ass to open is the entrance courtyard's door and the Great Hall doors. But all 3 of those doors are like the hardest doors to open in the game. It takes so much effort just to get through them. But aside from the combat and the movement having some responsive issues, like spellcasting has responsive issues and the movement has some responsive issues. Those 3 doors I mentioned are a pain in the ass to open. The only other thing that I have a gripe with this game is no camera control. You cannot control the camera at all in this game. You're stuck with what it's at. And sometimes you have to brute force it to move, which you shouldn't have to do. They should have just given you control of the camera with the right analog stick, like most games do. But not this one. But those are my biggest gripes. Is no camera control. Your movement and spellcasting have some responsive issues. They don't respond as accurately as they should, which causes some issues when you're going through doors and stuff, or you're trying to turn around, and certainly makes Flitwick's class challenge a little more difficult than it needs to be, especially with the Wingardium Leviosa / Levicorpus spell, which is where you move the analogs up and left and right. That one and Incendio / Rictus Impra seem to be the 2 that struggle the most. The only other time I notice it is when you're using Reparo. It's the only other time I notice it in the spellcasting with responsive issues. But like turning around and everything, like I said, the game moves fine and stuff. It just, I don't know, it just has some issues here and there. Like I said, it's mostly an issue with the camera, and then sometimes Harry moving after you stopped moving. I don't know what that one's for. Oh, that's for the defensive spells. I can't remember if I looked at that one or not. Tidying up Hogwarts. Alright, 2 more left. Or 3. 2 after this one. There's just more stills. So only the first 3 sets of these are pertinent, but you know, I'll continue to go through them just cuz. But yeah, Harry's movement is a bit finicky. It's not the worst, but it's a bit finicky. I have more issues with the lack of camera control over his movement, and then the unresponsiveness of some of the spellcasting is a little frustrating and annoying. But other than that, the combat in general is just generic and unreliable, I guess you could say. It's really hard to hit someone. Like, the combat in this game is chaotically weird. And I mean chaotically weird. Which is frustrating. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world based on how very few combat sections you have in this game. So if I think off the top of my head, I know for a fact you have, obviously, the final fight with Dumbledore and Voldemort, which is probably the best combat section in the entire game. You have the one where you're serious with Harry going against Bellatrix and Lucius. We have the 2 before that in front of Hogwarts House and in the Stone Circle. You have the one when they bust into the room of requirements, which you're supposed to lose. You have the one right after you learn Stupefy and Expelliarmus. There's another one where you fight Fred and Crab and Goyle with some random Slytherin, I think. There's the other one where you fight Crab and Goyle because they're bullying Susan Bones. Isn't this just the thing they made me watch before I came in here? No, it's not. That was different. Okay, that was cool. That was cool. That was dope. I like that. I like that a lot. There's like around 10 combat section in this entirety. Really? The credits is the last one? Weird. Why is that a reward? I'm rewarded with... okay. Whatever. But yeah, so for what the game has issues with, or is held back by, which is the combat specifically, and the lack of camera, which makes movement and control hard or more difficult in some scenarios than it should be. And that would easily be fixed if I could control the camera. Just saying. The game well than more makes up for. And the voice acting performance in this game is amazing. The Hogwarts that they built is phenomenal. Is amazing. I love how in-depth and how big the Hogwarts is in this game. Like, if there's one game in this entire series that did Hogwarts justice and has the best Hogwarts to explore, it's Order of Phoenix. There is no other game that can touch Order of Phoenix. Except for maybe Hogwarts Legacy, when that finally comes out. Hogwarts Legacy might be the only game to create a better Hogwarts than Order of the Phoenix. But until Hogwarts Legacy comes out, this is the best game to experience Hogwarts in. Is Order of the Phoenix. To a degree, I guess you could say Half-Blood Prince as well, because Half-Blood Prince is almost the same Hogwarts, but it's a watered down, condensed version of said Hogwarts with a few additionals. Like, because this game's mini-games are also great. I loved this game's mini-games. The Exploding Snaps, the Gobstones, and the Wizard's Chess, they're all well done, they're all well executed, and they're all good. They're all examples of good mini-games. And Half-Blood Prince replaces those mini-games with clubs, which is the Potions minigame, the Dueling Club, and the Quidditch minigame. Which, that's all fine and dandy, especially when they made the dueling so much better, so much more responsive, and so much more engaging than this game, which is why they added a versus mode in the menu for Half-Blood Prince. But that being said, I still miss like the school-like mini games, because those to me don't scream school-like mini games. Like, you could have had your clubs, Flying Club, Dueling Club, Potions Club, but also had your Gobstones minigame, your Wizard's Chess, and your Exploding Snaps. You already have them built in the engine. Just reuse them. I would gladly redo those 3 Gobstone games in Half-Blood Prince. I would gladly redo the Exploding Snaps minigames and Half-Blood Prince. I would gladly redo the Wizard's Chess minigames and Half-Blood Prince. You could add Chess Club. Come on, it's right there. Gobstones Club, Exploding Snaps Club. I mean, they're good minigames. Not only that, but they're actual mini games. Dueling Club doesn't feel like a mini game. It just feels like a fighting game, but with wands. Potions Club doesn't feel like a mini game. It feels like you're doing a class. And Quidditch is Quidditch. It's a sports game. An on-rail sports game. I don't know. I just like the mini games in Order of the Phoenix better than Half-Blood Prince. The Hogwarts is bigger. It's more explorable. It's more open than Half-Blood Prince. Half-Blood Prince is still a good game. Don't get me wrong. The Hogwarts is so gorgeous in that game as well. It's just not as robust as this one's, which is weird to say because this came out before it, obviously. Half-Blood Prince was supposed to be a continuation and upgrade of this game, but it feels almost like a watered-down version of this game. But I guess... Oh, my controller shut off because that lasted so long. So that is the room of requirements. We finally, to my chagrin, went into my little secret room with my little dumpling, Moaning Myrtle.
Who cast me with you? All your discoveries are making my arm ache.
So I don't have to give him a password. He just lets me in. Nice. Alright. It's only fitting we end the game in here.
Deposo!
That can go up. Anyway. But yeah. Order of Phoenix is a phenomenal game, and I would recommend this game to any Harry Potter fan. This game is phenomenal. It's amazing. It has the best open Hogwarts of any of the Harry Potter movie tie-in games. Like, seriously, the Hogwarts in this game is far superior to Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban. Goblet of Fire doesn't even have one. Far superior to Half-Blood Prince. And Deathly Hallows Part 1 doesn't have one. And Deathly Hallows Part 2 is just mission after mission after mission. So you're not really able to explore Hogwarts. You just have to go through the sections of Hogwarts the story takes you through. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Redux playthrough of Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix like I did. Going in, I didn't think I was going to 100% it, and then I did. Because that's how much I love this game. Honestly. Even if I had to cheat in chess. I do not think, however, I will do that in Half-Blood Prince. And by that, I mean I don't think I'll 100% Half-Blood Prince. I think I'm just going to do what I originally did, which was just plow through the story and do the 3 clubs. And that be that. So I hope you have a great day. Remember, only you can be the best you can possibly be. Hope you enjoyed this game as much as I did. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is like my second favorite Harry Potter game next to Prisoner of Azkaban, which just holds a huge place in my heart. And remember, only you can be the best you can possibly be. If you like the video, give a like, comment, leave super special, awesome, subscribe if you haven't. That'd really me out. And ta-ta for now.